Oh. Well, see, that's why I don't like that way either, is because you can't see.
Yeah, but everything in reverse is
You can't see. You got a different code than I do.
I have to suit it like this or something. And I have to turn on the Munchkin kisser.
No, mine's already on. I'm already 20 steps ahead of the game. There we are.
Whee!
How do you like that?
That's pretty good. Are we live?
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to
Look
do
at my
it.
hair on the side there.
Yeah, you're so cool.
I fully washed and moosed and spray painted my hair with hairspray. And wow, I feel like I'm hearing it immediately.
Maybe you should turn it off.
All right, bye.
I like listening to the sound of my own voice.
Forget this hair. I think it's time to finally get a haircut.
Just shave it off.
Once you are using mousse and hairspray and blow drying it, and it's still not working, is that better now?
I just need to touch up my roots. I think my hair's perfect right now. And the bangs are in a good spot.
I've still got that weird wing.
Do you want me to chop it off?
No, I think I'll go to a girl across the street.
I can just go, and she give you a little boy haircut. Oh, Miss Carpenter's here.
Hi, Miss Carpenter.
Hello, Thomas, Sarah. That's us.
Hope you got a chance to watch Section 31.
Well, you didn't tell anybody you were doing this.
It's a big surprise.
Yeah, well, how would you watch it?
Well, I mean, listen, you could have connected the dots and figured it out.
Do you like my Shadow Academy shirt?
Oh, my God, yes. I like your Colton's one better, but I guess that's what we got.
I was wearing it.
Look at the hair's still not fixed. All right, well, gonna have to be a Scully day.
Uh-oh. Miss Carpenter says, how are y'all?
We're doing good. Better today. Got more energy. How about you?
I took a long nap, and I still have no energy.
Wow.
So, after this, I'm gonna do my piece of schoolwork and maybe clean some D's. They love it.
By the way, I had a friend who said they
Miss
wanted...
Carpenter says you got a cowlick, lol.
Yeah, but the weird part about it is, I mean, there are no other products.
You got a cowlick.
I've had it with everything.
You got a cowlick.
No, you know what really happened? It's been giving me more trouble, but if I laze out and don't thoroughly dry my hair with the hairdryer,
you mess it up.
The hair.
Yeah, because it'll hold a certain way.
I think he's falling in my face.
Carpenter says you put a hat on, lol.
Yeah, that'll fix it.
Yeah. No cowlick. Oh, it's driving you insane. I just keep looking at my roots. I'm like, I gotta bleach those. It's really lame when you got a full blonde head and then you got big dark brown strands.
How is Eastern Arkansas? She's in the east, right?
Oh, Tom Baker's here.
East Middle. Hey, Tommy, I told you we'd be back.
She said she was by some kind of lake. Was that true?
There are a lot of lakes around here. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. I've been to a couple. My favorite is Beaver Fork.
Pervert.
I did really like the name of that one. Oh, I hate my roots. Now I'm going to have to go put a hat on. We'll be matching. Do-do. This is a pretty lame pre-show.
This is a pre-show.
Well, you're just singing a little ditty.
Well, I mean, I haven't done anything today. You want to talk about all the cleaning I did?
She's near Horseshoe Lake.
Horseshoe Lake.
Yeah.
Which I don't know where that is.
I knew she was by a lake, though.
We had a Horseshoe Lake in Washington.
No, we got one here.
That must be a common lake name.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I vacuumed the kitchen and mopped the kitchen, and then those idiots went outside and immediately found the giant pile of mud.
Yeah, they were going to.
And ran in, and I had to redo the entire kitchen.
Well, thank you, Miss Carpenter. I love my hair color. It's just it needs to be touched up. She says she still loves my hair color.
You should go to the college.
I can do it at home for free.
And you're happy with the result?
Yeah. I get a Sea-Dog to do the roots for me, and then
For free? How do you do that? You mix up your own hair color?
Yeah, I got hair color like months ago.
Oh, I see.
So it's free now. At the time, I had to pay for it, but I don't have any money right now.
Hmm.
So, therefore, this is free because it was from months ago.
I gave you a 10 spot yesterday. Can't you go get a haircut with that?
You want me to get a haircut?
Well, whatever.
It costs way more than that to get your hair dyed.
At the college?
Yeah.
Wow.
You heard how much they charged your
Well,
roommate?
that was a 12-hour ordeal.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Carpenter does her hair at home.
Most people do.
It's easy.
Although around here, I would say at least 60% of the women I see are clearly have gone professional.
Yeah. I know Sea Dog does professional and I don't. It's
See?
just I don't got that kind of money.
I know. I hate spending money like that
But
on that.
L Life is the one who told me about going to the beauty college and get a huge discount, which is nice. I like
But
it.
I think that people must be paying $200-$300 for what's going on with what they're doing.
Not me.
And they do it like once a month.
I got like 2 things of box dye for $10 each, so $20, and I just have to do it myself. Pretty nice.
It's almost like they treat their hair like the same way as if you'd bought a Mercedes.
Some people like
Sorta.
their hair, man.
Stick it in your face.
I like my hair. Just gotta work on it.
Who wants to have a haircut every month and dyeing with a tin foil? And
I'd love to.
I don't know, man. Don't have that kind of.
If
time.
I had expendable money, I'd be getting my hair done and my nails did every second of every day.
Why?
'Cause it's nice, man. Because they do a professional job. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
Like I have a UV lamp and I do my own nails, but when they do your nails, whew, whole different story. Looks nice.
I don't like people touching my nails.
I like them doing my feet because I can't reach.
I don't like people touching my hair either.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why you don't like haircuts. Yeah, Miss Carpenter is agreeing with me.
Ding 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 ding
I don't know, I think I did pretty good. I'm gonna have to touch these up too.
Hey, you're like the ice truck killer.
Why?
He paints nails, remember?
Does he? I told you I don't remember anything about that.
Well, you need to watch it.
Well, gel's supposed to last long, and I got this nice green color for $1.25.
Well, if any of you out there remember, what's the name of that show now? Television That Matters, when we talked about Dexter. Why do I want to see Origins, but that's not the name of it. What is it called? Dexter. Something the beginning.
Something.
It's not Origin. I want to say Origins, but it's not.
I have no clue. Today at a coffee shop, I saw a very young girl with a Duran Duran T-shirt.
Ooh.
That's what Tom Baker says.
Please tell me you asked her about it.
And
see if
what
she
her
even
favorite
knew who it was,
song.
or if she even knew what it was. I see people walking around here with Susie Sue and Rolling Stones. So I always look at them and I wonder.
Oh, dude, there's about 500 Rolling Stones shirt at every store you go to. I bet 100% some people don't know what that is.
I just always wonder if they really listen to the band.
You should ask Sea Dog. Sea Dog always wears Rolling Stones t-shirts and actually knows about the band.
Okay, I didn't say it was impossible.
How do you like that,
when I
apples?
see it, I'm always
No,
wondering.
I was just giving you a little tip for next time.
I'm more stealthy, like this hat here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? 1% of the population knows what I'm wearing.
I wore that NASA Duran Duran shirt in public, and some guy stopped me about it.
Yeah.
So, he was old.
Oh.
Aww. But I was cool for wearing it. Plus, I out-fact him immediately.
Oh.
I was talking about favorite songs, and he was like, "Oh, Hungry Like the Wolf." I'm like,
I told you.
And then I went, "I like this one," and he's like, "I don't know that one."
I told you. There's Surface.
Yep.
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Very-
Maybe they've heard of Rio.
Yeah, that guy was Surface, but he recognized my NASA Duran Duran shirt,
Yeah.
which is pretty wild. It does say Duran Duran on it, but it's kind of low key.
Yeah, but you could tell he was Surface.
Yeah.
If anybody says Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yeah, well, that's what I told
Surface.
you.
Well, it's time.
Is it time? Yep.
So we're here to talk about Fools on Film. And technically we watched a film. Even though it was on Paramount Plus,
Mm-hmm.
it is a film.
As Carpenter said, he was old, 40 years old, lol.
Yeah, right.
Well, let me tell you, he looked older than 40.
Uh-huh.
Did I tell you some guy the other day at UCA thought I was a professor?
Oh, that's nice.
That means I look old.
Well, maybe the haircut.
What about the haircut?
I don't know, the glasses. You have more of a.
I like these
I
glasses.
told you got an H.W. Bush thing going on.
But these are nice
Yeah.
glasses.
Well, you asked me why they think you're
Also,
old.
can I
I'll
just
give you
point
an
out,
answer.
I might need to go get my eyes checked again.
Sure.
I'm starting to get more blind.
You better ask your friend about.
I don't even know if we got insurance for the glasses.
Yeah, we do.
We do?
I just don't know if you can get your eyes checked. I think. I don't know. You don't want to go back to this place, or you?
Well, I'm never here.
Yeah. Well, you can go.
I got
Conway or
school
something.
every single day. I can find a place over there. It's just I need new insurance. I cannot afford new glasses right now, but it'd be nice to go get checked out.
Well, they have a new law here where
Mhm.
when you go to get your eyes checked, they have to give you a copy of your prescription
Yep.
and you have to sign a piece of paper saying you received it.
Okay.
And then I can show you how to get a full pair of glasses for $25.
I would like that. That would be something I'm interested in.
Okay. But
That's
can
what
we
I
get back
need.
to Fools on Film?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I got off on a glasses tangent.
So, the movie is Star Trek Section 31. Now, if you
Yeah.
don't watch Star Trek, you probably have no idea what Section 31 is. And even if you do watch Star Trek, you probably don't know what Section 31 is. But they're essentially.
I can do a brief synopsis for you.
Let me hear it.
Star Trek Federation is like the main government of like Earth in the future.
Well, Earth, the sector.
Basically. And there's a group called Section 31 within that umbrella, but they are separate because they like to break the rules. They like to bend the rules, is what it is. They don't break them, per se.
Okay.
They just do heavily questionable moral choices.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah.
I would, the closest thing to the CIA that Star Trek has. That's essentially what they are. Operating in the shadows and up to mischief.
Miss Carpenter is 54 and I'm near blind. My left eye doesn't work anymore. Oh, man.
That's a bummer.
I know.
Glasses aren't going to help that.
Oh. Well, I think...
So you get special consideration? Are you considered blind now? You probably can't drive, right, with one eye?
You can drive with one eye.
Legally?
Why not?
I have no idea what the rules are. I have no idea what they are.
I don't see why not.
I would think you're at the very least partially blind.
Yeah, because people who are partially blind can still drive.
Mate, I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've
I know
seen
there's a congressman that wears an eye patch.
Mm-hmm. You think he drives?
I wonder.
Miss Carpenter doesn't drive.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
But is
maybe...
that by choice or government enforcement?
What is it, partially blind?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Or there's a term also legally blind, where you can sort of see, but not good enough to do anything.
I know if you can't see at all, you can't drive.
No, that's a good rule.
You can drive if you are partially blind as long as your remaining vision meets the legal requirements for driving in your state. Adequate vision.
Okay.
Adequate.
Well, that's good news then.
Miss Carpenter's right eye works good.
Okay.
Got that going.
So, now that we know that Section 31 is the Federation's CIA, and after 2009, everything sort of went on its head. You get really a different Star Trek. The before Section 31 was like the CIA, clandestine, professional, but in the nonsense. This Section 31, they seem to be just doing whatever they want. They got to blow people up, they're going to blow them up.
Well, yeah, this isn't... They haven't gotten Section 31 right, in my opinion, since DS9.
Right, which is where it originated.
DS9 is who started that, and they did it well.
So now that we have that out of the way, what did you think of this movie?
I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, show's over, folks.
I didn't like it. You could have just, like, roll film after that. Because you were telling me last night, you're like, I don't think there's one good thing I could say about it. Have you thought about it? Have you slept on it? Can you say one good thing about it that's not that it's 90 minutes?
I can find nothing redeeming in any section of this film.
Wow.
It is I told you in the first 10 minutes, I was like, what is going on?
I think the writing was bad, the story was bad.
But not only was the writing bad, it was bad.
It was pretty bad.
I can't ever remember. I mean, something like The Room or something like that, where that dialogue is bad. I would say this is on par or worse.
I think this is worse because at least in The Room it's fun and it's funny. And
Well,
this
yeah,
one,
but
it wasn't funny.
That's for a different reason.
That-
I'm talking about,
But this one wasn't funny.
even though you think The Room wasn't supposed to be a comedy, so the dialogue is bad. This dialogue is bad and nothing humorous about it. It's
Yeah.
sad. And I told you there were a couple sections there where I thought AI had written
Yeah.
some of the dialogue.
Well,
You tell me you, and I tell you me.
yeah, because they were trying to sound cool.
Yeah, they sounded
So
stupid.
I tell you, you tell me me. You know.
So, if you watch Star Trek, you know there's a certain way that people behave. It's sort of a military exploration division, and people act like the military.
Yeah, even if they have attitude, they're still like.
There's a level of respect for the chain of command, etc.
Yeah.
This was like a buddy movie.
Well, it wasn't even Star Trek.
There's nothing Star Trek about this other than you hear some familiar sounds when they're transporting or they're wearing a Delta sometimes.
We watched somebody review it last night, and they said, "Oh, it's kind of like Suicide Squad," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it kind of is like Suicide Squad, like a heist movie, like."
Yeah, they
But
had
like worse.
they had about 5 or 6 really stupid surface characters that you didn't give a about at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just for 90 minutes a bunch of noise and who cares?
Yeah, I agree. The one good thing I was gonna say about it is some of the concepts for these characters was interesting, but nothing was ever done with
Okay,
it.
explore that. What are you talking about?
The Vulcan guy with the little guy controlling him, that could have been a good character if they had done it good. You know?
I was slightly interested in what that was, but the problem is
They did it so bad that you'd never want to see it again.
that is essentially that guy on Prodigy, where there's a big energy ball inside
Yeah, but this
a
was like a
robot.
little shrimp guy.
Okay, but still, it's essentially the same thing.
Plus, he can do other things too.
Well,
Wasn't
yeah, he's very highly advanced in computer work.
wasn't what's the word? Non-corporeal?
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's still a being.
Well, yeah, you could say that about anything then. That guy controls that guy controls that guy.
Well, intelligence is where I would draw the line, and clearly that guy was intelligent.
But the fact that that guy was inhabiting a Vulcan was interesting.
What irritates me is
Mm-hmm.
they put him in a human form robot, and for some reason he had an Irish accent.
Yeah, I didn't love that.
Which
I think that was the shrimp.
Really, yeah, that shrimp was in there.
The shrimp had the Irish accent though, even when he was talking outside the body.
Okay, so that doesn't even make sense to me.
Me neither.
You land in Ireland as a shrimp?
I don't know. Couldn't tell ya.
So if you've seen the movie Dave, that's essentially what that is.
Irish.
No, Dave was a real guy inside a body of a human. They were super tiny,
Oh,
and it was sort of their spaceship.
I got you.
But it's the same concept. Because
Yeah.
the shrimp is like this big.
Would you at least say the concept for the character was good?
Except
even,
I've seen that before.
You've seen everything before.
And
Everything's been done before.
And it wasn't well executed at all.
There was that bald chick, but she kind of had the same thing as like the green chick, who was like she could seduce anybody.
Well, I didn't see any of that evidence of that.
Well, she did. They did it in her exposition.
Well, they said it, yeah, but
yeah, they
didn't show
said it. They also did a joke with that.
They did.
You thought she was gonna go in and seduce the guy, and she just kicks him in the face. That was
See, I was a lot of time I was like,
that was a joke, I think.
this thing was excruciatingly long at only 90 minutes.
Oh, dude, I can analyze everything that was supposed to be a joke and why they thought it was a joke and explain how it's not funny either. That kicking joke was not funny. Because I didn't even know this chick, you know?
Well, I didn't care for her, and
Yeah.
she didn't last very long.
There was the Vulcan guy.
But I have not finished with the shrimp.
Oh, excuse me.
So the shrimp is killed at the end of the movie,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is the part that you're pressed about.
and then another shrimp shows up with the same body
Mm-hmm.
as the Irish shrimp, and for some reason this guy's got a South Carolina gentleman's accent.
Because the chick shrimp, the wife of the first shrimp, took over that body and says she wants to go find her husband because he's got some explaining to do. Apparently, he did something bad.
See, I missed all that too.
She's the one who gave birth to all those babies he kept talking about and making jokes about.
Okay.
But she joined their group to go find him because she thinks he survived.
I don't remember any of that.
That was at the very end tack on where they thought they were getting a TV show.
Oh, the new shrimp was a Southern gentleman, was his wife?
Yeah, they said that.
Then why does she sound like a Southern gentleman?
Because it's still the Vulcan body. Who's a dude.
Okay, then why is the accent different?
Because she's Southern.
That makes no sense. None of that makes sense.
It was pretty easy to follow with how horrible it was.
And then there was some strange thing where it starts out they're in like huts, and they're
That was
giving you
the
the
Terran
backstory
Empire.
of the main girl,
Yeah.
and she had this sort of boyfriend that she had was supposedly had to kill.
Mm-hmm. She
And
didn't
then-
kill him.
Well, she burned his face, and oh, that's right, he became like a
servant.
slave. Yeah. And then that's the big reveal at the end that it's real. He never died. And they're running around chasing some kind of bomb, which is boring too.
Yeah, the weapon
The
that.
characters were shit. There was a lieutenant, and it was Rachel Garrett, who, if you know who she is, it's a complete abomination what they did to that character.
Well,
I
'cause
missed it until the
She's
end.
not Starfleet. Number one.
Yes, she is.
She didn't feel Starfleet.
She didn't feel
she,
Starfleet,
She had an attitude. She was a stick in the mud.
but she was a lieutenant.
She was supposed to be the like the Federation is the mainstream thing, and they're boring and they don't like breaking any rules. She doesn't like anything they're doing.
And meanwhile, she was bending the shit out of every rule. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
Yeah,
You had a guy who wore a mechanized suit, only
he was so dumb.
yeah, he was half retarded.
He was dumb.
He just runs around going boom and smashing through walls and saying dumb shit.
Yeah, he was the comic relief.
And that's the other part that bothers me. They're supposed to be like the CIA and sneaking around. Every one of them is obnoxious and drawing attention to themselves, whatever they're doing.
Mhm.
The lieutenant kept wearing this stupid wig
Mhm.
that was ridiculous.
Yeah, to blend in.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
Oh,
But I was.
I don't even know what else to say.
I was moving on to the next character we get to talk about. There
Oh,
was
go ahead.
also the shapeshifter guy.
Which again made no sense because they never really used it.
Well, also, don't they not like shapeshifters? Is that why he was in Section 31?
I
I think
I've never
Starfleet
seen it.
hates shapeshifters.
Oh, I don't think it was a founder.
Oh, I don't think it was a founder, but they don't like shapeshifters.
Okay.
I was under that impression.
I don't think the people who made this movie had ever knows anything about Star Trek or saw an
Okay.
episode of Star Trek
Okay.
because they don't seem. Do you see anything? I didn't even see a starship, and I don't remember seeing a uniform on anybody.
They had a garbage barge. Well, because they're Section 31.
But-
Well,
You think you'd run into them somewhere,
also, Section 31 has their own uniform.
but none of them were wearing it,
Exactly. They all just did their own thing.
which was and it was just.
There was that.
But I can't.
Tom Baker says, you think actor Chris Pine playing Captain Kirk was a good choice? I didn't think that was bad.
He's fine.
Yeah.
But what they should have done is not had Captain Kirk and Spock and McCoy. Put a new crew in your Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
You cannot recast an iconic William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy and DeForest Kelley. It cannot be done. You shouldn't have tried it. That was also not Star Trek. That was all shooting and
Yeah, that was a whole other
crazy
thing,
nonsense. No one behaved like an officer. But Chris Pine, yeah, Chris Pine's fine.
too. Yeah, Miss Carpenter says that's the wrong humor. They shouldn't have done it that way. You want to talk about my favorite joke in the whole movie?
Fire away.
So they were talking about the little super weapon is called the Godsend.
Right. It's essentially a MacGuffin thing that everybody's chasing. It's a bomb.
Yeah, it explodes. It destroys everything. Everything.
Right. It's a
everything.
doomsday bomb.
Yeah. And she was explaining it, and then the guy raises his hand. He's like, I got a question. Is it God's end or Godsend?
Did you even understand that?
And they were like, I think she's saying Godsend. No,
And that bit went
is it-
on
I
for a
heard-
couple of minutes.
I heard God's end. No, I think it was Godsend.
Like, I guess everybody was supposed to be rolling around on the floor laughing. I didn't. I was like, shut up.
Miss Carpenter says, yes, Thomas, two iconic characters, can't replace them.
I would have turned around and went, who gives a shit? Let's
Yeah.
go. The whole universe is gonna be destroyed.
There was a lot of cursing and
Was there?
yeah, you didn't. Every time I heard it, I was like,
Yeah, I don't like that in Star Trek either.
they did that a lot. Occasionally have your fun, do like one, but they were overdoing
And what was
it.
the? Oh yeah, somebody said something to the lieutenant, and she goes, "Oh yeah, like friends with benefits."
Yeah,
And I'm like, would they really be using that term a couple
Probably
hundred
not.
years in the future?
they usually are confused about terms from our time because they talk
Right.
professionally.
Yeah. Right. If you talk to somebody of this time, they're like, "What?
Yeah,
And why are you an asshole?"
yeah,
That's a lot of that because everybody behaves a certain way, I guess.
yeah. So
And by the way, having the shrimp robot be Vulcan, I don't understand that either. Other
'Cause-
than just to have a Vulcan in the show.
I think you wanted to have a Vulcan who wasn't acting like a Vulcan.
Right.
I think that is the only reason it was like that.
Yeah.
They love doing that. They did that with. We watched that one episode of Strange New Worlds. They love just like breaking Vulcan character, which is really weird because it's a good character. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the dialogue, and the dialogue is so bad, and it's so bad in the worst way is that you're not even humored by it. It's
Mhm.
like soul sucking. It makes you tired how stupid the dialogue is.
Mhm.
And I would swear some of it had to have been written by AI.
Yeah.
Especially that you tell me you, I tell you me.
Yeah. You really didn't
Ugh.
like that. Hurrah!
Woof, woof. So this thing is an absolute pile of garbage, and it's not even good enough to be in my worst films of all time because it went in one ear and right out the other.
Oh, I'm gonna be studying this the rest of my life.
Could you even imagine a situation where you'd watch that again?
Years down the line, I'll be like, it wasn't that bad, was it? And then I'll watch it again and I'll be like, ugh.
Let me put this in perspective for you, okay? Just so
Mhm.
you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
I will not purchase this disc.
And you're a completionist.
I am a completionist.
Oh no. You even said you wanted to finish Discovery.
I would finish Discovery's got problems,
Yeah.
but this was. There's no point to this even existing.
So I guess I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. A copy of Section 31 on 4K.
The problem is it would just make me sad. There's you can't even get anything out of that movie. The happiest I was is when the credits rolled, and even the last minute cameo was stupid.
Yeah.
So that was garbage. Everything about this film is garbage, garbage, garbage,
Well, do you
garbage. I don't. The biggest Star Trek fan, and you can tell that because we were watching some press footage of people who got to see it early,
Hmm.
and everybody said the same thing.
It was
It was fun.
fun. It was fun.
That's the equivalent of when you're watching someone playing live music, and then after
well,
they
that
say,
was
"How was
fun.
it?" and they go, "Oh, you look like you were having fun up there."
Yeah. My favorite of Mike's lines last night was he was having a conversation between who's that chick who plays the main girl?
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh. Well, Michelle was talking to Jamie Lee Curtis and was like, "They're burning money over here. I can get you in."
That was pretty good, yeah. Because I guess this thing cost over $100 million to make.
Yeah,
Can you imagine spending that movie on a streaming movie?
it's a lot.
I
For something not very
that's
good.
nuts too. Everything about this is nuts. Who, quote unquote, wrote it? Even the picture was ugly. Everywhere they were, it was ugly. When you think about regular Star Trek, everything's nice and well lit.
They were also regurgitating a bunch of stuff I saw in the bad parts of Picard.
Yes, there was some of that too.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. The season 1 and season 2 of Picard show was pretty bad.
And they were regurgitating a bunch of stuff from that to put into their movie.
However, I could watch that again, maybe someday.
I don't know. I don't know about
I
that.
could not watch this again
Mm-hmm.
for any. I couldn't even imagine. I watched. Do you remember the other day I was telling you about? I found a tape, and it was about Nazis taking over the Vatican and the
Mm-hmm.
Pope and stuff.
You told me about that.
I watched that, and you know what? I was thinking yesterday, or it was the day before. I was like, maybe I'll watch that again.
No, look at you.
I wouldn't watch this for any reason ever again.
Oh no, I told you the exact circumstance in which I'd watch it again. Wasn't that bad, was it? Like when I forgotten about
But
it.
10 minutes, you'd turn it off. Because last night, in 10 minutes, I wanted to turn it off.
Dude, we like had to pause for some reason, and I felt like I had been there an eternity.
Right.
And we had only gotten 30 minutes through the movie, and I was like, it's only been 30 minutes.
And I kept thinking, okay, well, we started at this time. That means it's going to be over at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only thing I had to look forward to.
I was immersed in how bad it was. So.
Yes. Everybody who was involved in this, I hate you.
Okay.
You have stolen 90 minutes of my life.
And I
Plus
want it
whatever,
back.
however long this is taking, 22 minutes more.
Yep.
And however long it goes on, that I will never get back. And I don't have too many 90 minutes left.
Oh, you don't got to be a bummer.
I'm just saying, I don't have much time to waste. And I'm certainly not watching this. It's just.
But
ugh.
everybody's going to be like, where were you?
I can't think of a worse movie.
31.
I can't think of a worse movie because it's not even bad enough to be interesting.
Yeah, if it was
It's just this.
if this had been a standalone movie with no Star Trek, it would still
You
have
wouldn't
been
even-
just as bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have looked at it. It wasn't. Number one, it's not Star Trek.
It's not.
There's nothing Star
Well,
Trek about it
that's
other
what
than
my
a couple
theory
of names
was.
they stole.
My theory was that they had a script for some other sci-fi movie that was cruddy, and they were like, okay, what can we do to make this better? And then they attached Star Trek to it.
Maybe, but
That
how
was
do you,
what
how
I
do you
thought.
justify that dialogue?
It's pretty bad.
And by the way, they had extra time to do this because apparently they'd started before
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah.
And it's 2025.
That's what they came up with.
So that's 5 years now?
That's
They
what
had
came
to
up
do
with.
that? And the dialogue wasn't. How about a rewrite?
Nah,
Ugh.
it was fine.
I'm trying to think in my mind some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. And I can't even think of anything that even comes close to this.
People say there was like a lot of the jokes were like what they would call like millennial jokes. That's why I kept doing the he's right behind me, isn't he? I kept doing that because that's like the same genre of jokes they were trying to tell.
Yeah, a cliche is the term you're
Yeah.
looking for. And it was, but it wasn't even that many cliches. It's that new style where everybody says something and then they explain what they said. And it's
Oh,
just
they explain everything to death. We didn't get a chance to learn anything about the characters. We just got told everything about the characters.
They spent too much time giving all those characters backstory, yet none of them had a backstory
Yeah, well,
because it was shallow, like a puddle.
the interesting part is supposed to be like discovery.
And then the fact that they took Rachel Garrett, it's like excrement on you.
Ms. Carpenter says, yeah, I wouldn't watch that again. They wasted my time. I want to sue their A.
So you watched Section 31.
Sounds like Ms. Carpenter.
So you know the punishment and pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ms. Carpenter and I and you will go and start like
And
throwing rocks.
let this be a warning. We're not going, hey, this is so bad. You should go check it out just to see what we're talking about. You should not check this out.
And we're saying we watched it for you and we didn't like it.
And if it wasn't for this and when we were doing this, I would have turned it off.
Yeah.
And I don't usually turn things off. But I'm thinking about it. What was that Ant-Man 3 we were watching? And we all
turned that
decided to
up.
turn that off on how bad that was. Maybe there's something going on.
Well, didn't the writer's strike do something?
Maybe, but this was written well before the writer's strike and after.
Was it written before the writer's strike and then the writers went on strike so they didn't do any revisions to any of the dialogue?
The writer's strike was wasn't it 24? It hasn't even been a year, has it?
Let me see.
It was like June of 24 and it went till September or something of 24. So this would have had no part in that. This was probably already in the can by then.
2023.
It was 23?
Yeah.
Wow. So we had a whole year after the writer's strike? Well, it shows what I know.
Looks like it.
But after they were only out for like 4 or 5 months, right?
100 and something days.
Okay.
So.
4 months. I think.
Mm.
I don't know. Who cares?
I
I could just tell you, if you started writing in 2020, and this is so bad. Have you heard of the films they're just shit canning before anybody sees them? There's like they made a whole Batgirl movie
Mm-hmm.
with Oscar winner Brandon Fraser as Firefly,
Mm-hmm.
and the people at Warner Brothers watched this and said, "No,
Mm-hmm.
we're not putting this out. This hurts our brand. This is unacceptable."
Mm-hmm.
And they threw it away and did a tax write-off rather than release it.
Mm-hmm.
They need somebody like that at Paramount,
Mm-hmm.
which goes, no,
No.
we're not doing this.
Mm-mm.
And people watch something called dailies,
Mm-hmm.
which is where the executive watched what they filmed that day,
Mm-hmm.
so they can see how it's going. No one watched the dailies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody watched this until they handed it in.
And they were like, "Yeah, that's good. That's fun.
Well, I'm assuming they went, well, it's for streaming. Who gives a shit?
It's for
Maybe
fun."
somebody will watch it, but it's not going to last. All right. Well, hey, listen, it was nice seeing you.
Oh, I was just lowering it slightly. Also,
looked like
your
you were
roommate's
leaving.
up.
No.
Your roommate's up.
That can't be. So I'm sorry to bring such bad news for all you people in Section 31. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to thank you for coming in and watching it. And for any of you, we probably should have said something right at the front of the video. Do not watch this movie.
Oh, well, now people got to get to this point.
I guess so. It's not fun. It's not funny. It's not good. It's not Star Trek. It is it will make your life less good. You will feel sad after you watch this, if you even get through it. And if you're one of the people that likes this sort of romp and had a good time, good for you. The problem is I have seen this formula too many times, and this is the worst I've ever seen it.
It's pretty bad.
And by the first Suicide Squad was not great.
The second one was the good one.
Hmm.
That's the one we watched like twice, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that was good, wasn't it? That was surprisingly good.
We watched it like 2 or 3 times.
You know why? Because James Gunn did it.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the guy who does Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Tom Baker says, "No, I will not go through the pain of watching it." Good call.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say. Do
Good
you have
call.
anything to say?
I think I've said everything I wanted to say.
Well, then I want to bless everyone who's watching and anyone in the future. And I want to thank you for showing up here for our little Fools on Film.
Do you want me to investigate this camera
And
situation?
to the VIPs. I wonder what you mean by that.
I'm going to have to go in there and click a button. So if you're doing your sign off, I'm going to have to wait for your cue.
Well, you can turn it off at any time now.
Well, say goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody. And I'll just do this until you figure it out.
Uh-oh, and it's covering the camera.
Uh-oh.
The button's covered.